So I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you? My choice, my body, my choice.
Your partner's supposed to come to me and talk to
Joe, I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no solution.
You knew who the was when you met me.
Before,
yeah,
we met,
before,
yeah, I
and
knew
I
that.
thought that I would never have to go back to anything like this again.
Welcome to the Dark Times channel. Before I go ahead and get started, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like button for me. And if you're not new to the channel and you enjoy the content so far on this channel, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And so let's go ahead and get into it. This is a video that I wanted to do, but also a video that I hated to do. This is a video that was tough to watch. It was tough to watch another man have to go through something like this.
That's no
You knew
solution.
who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
I
knew that.
thought that I would never have to go back to anything
I
like
knew
this
that
again.
beforehand, but not now.
Let alone the fact that it was Joe Smith. Joe Smith was always one of my favorite players growing up. Played 15 seasons in the NBA. We're talking about the #1 overall pick back in '95. And so he was one of those college players out of Maryland that was a highly anticipated draft pick. Everybody couldn't wait to see Joe Smith play in the NBA. And so we're talking about a player in Joe Smith that if he played in the NBA today, there's no doubt about it, he would be an all-star, borderline superstar player. With the kind of player that he was and his versatility and the direction that the game is headed today, having a big man 6'10", a legit 6'10", that could step out, shoot it from deep, mid-range, decent defender. So yeah, there's no doubt about it. He'd be a major player if he played in the NBA today. Unfortunately for Joe Smith, he came in right smack dab in the middle of probably one of the greatest big man eras. You had David Robinson, you had Shaq, you had Akeem Olajuwon, you had Tim Duncan, you had Mutombo. And so you had legit 7-footers that dominated the league, and it was a back to the basket league at that time. And so Joe Smith, unfortunately, like I said, he just came in at the wrong time. But had he played today, and if he was in the NBA today, there's no doubt about it, he'd be an NBA all-star, borderline superstar player. He was that good. It's been a while since I've seen Joe Smith, and to see him like this, and to see him back in the limelight like this, it's not something I wanted to see. It's not something that any man should have to go through. No man should have to go through this. No man should have to have a public argument, an altercation with his wife over her OnlyFans page that she hid from him. And I'm gonna play the full clip here in a minute for those of y'all who haven't seen it. But before I do, I just want to give a little bit of a background into Joe Smith. For those of you who don't know already, Joe Smith is somebody who made close to $70 million during his NBA career. And to make a long story short, he lost most of it, like many athletes do, especially back then during the 90s, 80s. During that era, there wasn't an emphasis on financial literacy. And so if you didn't know, you didn't know. The agent that you had wasn't going to tell you. The NBA for damn sure wasn't going to tell you. And so going broke back then for a lot of these athletes was pretty easy to do when you consider where a lot of these athletes came from.
A lot of people think once you sign that contract, you just automatic millionaire. But it doesn't work like that. Nobody really explained that and broke that down to me, that Uncle Sam, out of that $3 million, Uncle Sam is going to take probably 1.5 of that.
Okay, here's how we're going to attack this. First, I'm bringing on my financial planner to help manage your money. And then we're going to build a great business plan. We're going to take revenue. And when the revenue goes up, the key is to keep that expense down.
And so according to this and some other things that I saw, it looked like everything was on the up and up. He was involved in some different basketball programs, and it looked like he had a plan to get his life, at least financially, back on track. And he's somebody who just got married. I believe he got married back in 2018. And I'm sure that he was somebody that was looking forward to settling down and looking forward to building with his new wife. But evidently the rebuild and the financial comeback wasn't happening fast enough for his new wife.
It's stupid, yo. I can't believe I'm sitting here just finding out you got an OnlyFans page. And all these years, yo, disrespect that comes with it, that you couldn't even talk to me before you did it. That's bullshit, yo. That's fucked up, dude. I'm telling you, yo, that's fucked up.
Wait, no, calm. But you're not gonna say fuck me, or that's fucked up. It's not fucked up.
You recording me? What the fuck you doing?
Listen, it's not fucked up. And we're going to, okay, look, so I have an OnlyFans page, and he's mad because he's just now finding out about it.
Of course I'm mad I'm just finding out about it.
I'm not doing it with anybody but myself, so why should I have to tell you my choice, my body, my fucking choice?
I'm your partner, you're supposed to come to me and talk to
Joe,
me.
I've been talking to you about mad things. I've been asking for solutions to shit. You're not giving me none, so I created one.
That's no solution. Not in my book. That's no
You knew
solution.
who the fuck I was when you met me.
Before,
Yeah,
we met,
before,
yeah, I
and
knew
I
that.
thought that I would never have to go
Man,
back to
get out of
anything
here.
like
I knew
this
that
again.
beforehand,
But
but
unfortunately,
no.
that's not the case
But after
right
that,
now.
after that, everything's supposed to change.
Everything did change.
No. Obviously it hasn't.
No, it had to. I had
Obviously
to do something.
It hasn't. You stood out there showing your body. You stood out there doing stuff like this on camera.
You act like that's the only thing that I do. I have mad jobs, but they're not facilitating everything that needs to be done. So I got something extra. OnlyFans be breaking me off. What the fuck?
Come on, Keish, with that. It don't matter what they breaking you off. It's the disrespect that comes with it.
What
You couldn't
disrespect?
you couldn't come and talk to me about it.
Okay, well, we're talking about it now.
Because I had to find out on the fly.
All right then, but now, okay,
No,
so wait.
I had to find out on the fly.
So now you know.
Yeah, now I know.
Okay. And so? Whatever. I'm been doing what I have to do, period.
And I'm not gonna pretend to know anything about this wife, at least anything other than what's in this video. But based on this footage, it looks like she could have been on somebody's pole at one point, allegedly. And so there was a point in that clip in which Joe Smith's wife said, "You knew who I was. You knew what I was about." And then Joe Smith replied by saying, "But yeah, that was before." And that's the age-old tale right there. That's the age-old tale, the golden rule. A rule that everybody knows, but not everybody follows. You can't turn a you-know-what into a housewife. You could try. People do it every day. People get married to all kinds of people with all kinds of backgrounds. And this applies for women too. Marrying guys that you know have a past. And I'm not saying a tiger can't change his stripes. I'm not saying that's not possible. But whenever you do decide to settle down with somebody that has a past, there's risk involved. There's always a risk involved. Because at any given point in that time, that individual, no matter where they were at in life when you met them, they always have a chance. There's always a chance of them having a relapse and going back to that former person that they used to be, the person that you met, the person that you somewhat fell in love with, and there was characteristics about them that you liked. Probably a whole lot that you liked. But 9 times out of 10, when things start getting serious, and that person that has a little bit of a checkered background and maybe they did this or that, maybe a little something strange for some change, they start seeing that a person is actually interested in them and there's a possibility that they could get wifed up or that they're husband material. They're going to start to show you what you want to see. You want to see me going to church wearing long dresses? That's what I'm going to give you. You want to see me suited and booted? That's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to change these stripes overnight. And according to her, she thought she was going to get the fairy tale ending. She thought it was going to be a real life Pretty Woman story. Her knight in shining armor was going to rescue her and it was going to be happily ever after. And he did. To his credit, he did. He wifed her up. He married her. Flaws and all. And I'm sure he's got some flaws too, but he married her. He wifed her. He chose her. And so she got the fairy tale. I'm sure she was probably expecting to live a little bit more high end of a lifestyle than they currently live. She wasn't thinking that there was going to be any kind of a financial hardship or any kind of a financial struggle. And this is probably by Hollywood standards. Like I said, he played in the NBA for 15 years, so he gets a pension. There's money coming in. I'm not sure how much money is going out, but at the end of the day, there's income coming in. He's making money. Not to mention, like I said, basketball camps and whatever other money he's making on the side. It's a good life, but it's not quite the fairy tale that she wanted and the fairy tale that she thought she was going to get. And so in order to make ends meet, as if they were living in some kind of Section 8, She thought she had to get an OnlyFans to help out or to be able to buy some of the stuff that she wanted to buy. She thought that was the route she had to go. And I don't think anybody really believes that. If you get an OnlyFans, it's not just because you want the money. Plenty of things you can do to get money. But it's because she wanted the attention. She wanted the attention, and then she looked at it on the plus side. Hey, I can get a little bit of change for showing this and that. And if she thought it was the right thing to do, and if she thought it was the decent thing to do, she would have told her husband. But she didn't. He probably had to find out the hard way. He probably had to find out through a friend or through a family member, God forbid. And then she hit him with the my body, my choice. Nah, it don't work like that. My wife, my body. You belong to me. And y'all can call it what you want. You can call it being a male chauvinist all you want. At the end of the day, my wife, my body. Your husband, your body. You see how that works? It goes both ways. You would never see a heterosexual man that's married doing an OnlyFans to make ends meet. There might be a few out there these days. There's no telling with that. But like I said, there's always an exception to the rule. There's 1,000 things you could do to make ends meet. And showing my body off and doing something a little strange for some change is going to be the last of those options. And if and when somebody does decide to do that, or they think that that's the good option or good route to go, you're damn right you better discuss it with me. Like Joe Smith said, you're damn right you better discuss it with me. My wife, my body. You belong to me. If not me, then who? The streets? Because that's what it looks like. That's what she's acting like. She's acting like she don't belong to her husband. She's acting like she belongs to the streets. Because she's giving her body literally to every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry with a computer or a smartphone has access to her body. And at that point, what's the point of being married? Unless that's what you're into. And some people are. And if you are, it is what it is. That's your biz. But both parties need to know, and both parties need to sign off on something like that. And so I feel for Joe Smith. I really do. And like I said in the beginning of the video, no man should have to go through that, let alone this publicly. And I'm not in the habit of wanting people's marriages to break up or wanting people's marriages to dissolve. But in a situation like this, I don't think there's any going back. The level of disrespect that this woman showed and the level of trust that's going out of this relationship, I'm not sure you can get that back. And then on top of that, like I said, they've only been married since 2018. I don't know if they have any children. So for me, it would make it all the easier to just chalk it up and say, you know what? There might be irreconcilable differences. And from the looks of it, this might be the right time. While he's still trying to get his finances back on track and he's not quite there, this would be the right time to do it. Because you already know when the shit hits the fan, you already know what she's going to do. She's going to revert back to that old method. She's going to revert back to her old ways. This week is OnlyFans. Next week, God knows what. And so for me, this would be the time to go ahead and cut bait. But like I said, I'm not in the habit of wanting people to break up, but it don't look like this is something that can be resolved or something that should be resolved. Let me say that. And I think I know my audience. I know how most of y'all feel already, but go ahead and let me know below anyway, and make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. And if you're not new to the channel and you enjoyed the content on this channel so far, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me as well. And as usual, peace and chaos.